try that again. There. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Kanipa with Macwash, Standing Bear Soda Tribe, Fishing Lake First Nation, Saskatchewan, Canada, Treaty 4 Territory, Anishinaabe, 60 Scoop Survivor, published author, and welcome to We Are the Medicine Circle, which really implies that we are the medicine circle here, and implies that it really kind of looks like this right here. So this is we. This is the medicine that represents our circle. It does that really well too. So yeah, and if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much, which really means, kind of covered this yesterday, which really means I just want you to live your very best life, connected to all those that offer us life. And so what's beautiful about this is we get to do this together, right? You know, circle medicine. So circle medicine. So one of those things is there was a comment yesterday, sent me a comment. This is not like a patriarchy thing. This is a circle thing. This is not. I'm not a preacher. This is not anything. This is not a sermon. This is not anything like that. I am in the service of this circle, and I'm in the service of the Great Spirit. So, yeah. Okay. So next thing, housekeeping. If we have a little thing with the connection, if there's a little audio lag or video, if someone freezes or something like that, just know that I'm not going anywhere. If I get kicked off, I do get occasionally kicked off of my own live, and so I just hit that live button again, and we will just pick up where we left off. It's really that simple. Um, yeah. One other announcement that I'm gonna kind of like wanted to add this before we kind of end with this. It's just a reminder that this ceremony may end, but the ceremony in you does not end. So let's be mindful to take what we've learned here, listened to here, and loved here, and make sure that we take it out there. I think we're going to add that. Yeah, I think it's going to be a regular housekeeping thing, because I think that's really important, right? Because it's, it's one thing to one thing to say in the end, but it's just kind of like that gentle reminder to be, just to, and that's really just to pick something out, right? Just pick one or two things out just to sit with and to pray with. And so that's for that. We're going to talk about that a little later. Sitting with, that was question from our European friends. But let's, before we begin in earnest, let us start in the usual way. If you have any smudge there, feel free to light it up. Also, we as always we ask for a volunteer to keep this smudge going throughout the circle in remembrance for the residential school children um, here on Turtle Island that never got a chance to go home. That is a prayer. That is a prayer request from a suggestion from a grandmother out in Vancouver, British Columbia, and she pops on here from time to time. So real happy to see her here. Haven't seen her yet since I've been back, but yeah, when the grandmothers suggest something like that, it's no longer a suggestion. The grandmothers, they just have that wisdom, right? So let's keep that prayer going in a really good and beautiful way. And yeah, if you can give me a little heart, a little thumbs up to kind of keep that thing going, please, and thank you. Okay, beautiful, great, thank you there, thank you everyone. So let us begin. Where is? Hold on. Sorry about that. Left my bag of tobacco. So, anyway, the old ones say, if it doesn't begin with prayer, then it doesn't begin. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. Mm-hmm. So let's begin in a really good and beautiful way. So let's. And if you would like to offer two, as my elder would say, that would be good. And then Wichiagana to all my relations. Kewazana me, I love you, we love you. Kitchimana too. Great spirit, creator, great mystery, Chi-Megwich for our life, Chi-Megwich for our day, Chi-Megwich for our circle, Chi-Megwich for our life. Thank you. We come here today, we mean no harm in what we do. We are grateful for our last breath and we are hopeful for our next, and we live in that beautiful place in between. We come here. We can come here for many reasons, but the first reason is life. Without life, we have nothing. So we come here and we celebrate our life. And we can't celebrate the individual life without celebrating all life. So we come here and we celebrate all nations, tribes, and circles, especially those nations, tribes, and circles that do not look like the two-legged, like the standing nations, the ones that offer the world breath. We say thank you. To the swimming nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the water. The wing nations, the ones who teach us how to live in harmony and balance with the wind and air. The creepy crawlies and the slitheries, the ones who teach us how to stay close and grounded to Mother Earth. The four-legged, the ones who teach us and offer us so much to and for our humanity. We say thank you. Chi-Megwich. And of course to other two-legged nations, circles, and tribes, where we understand that you are our teachers as well, and this makes our ears and hearts very happy. And so we celebrate those things that offer us life, air, water, fire, and earth, and we celebrate them. We celebrate our connection to them, to those medicines, to those ancestors. We come here, we celebrate all seven directions because we know life and wisdom and breath and love comes from all those directions. We celebrate the ones that have come before us, our ancestors. And remember, if they are relatives here, they are our ancestors over there. So we come from a million points of light and love. So let's remember this in a very good, simple, and beautiful way. They carried this message of life. They carried their prayers in a good way. So let us listen to these ancestors, for they are still with us. The first bear and the first eagle, grandmother eagle and grandfather bear are still here with us. So we are never alone. And we also understand and acknowledge that some of our two-legged ancestors were hurt, wounded, abused, and traumatized, and they passed that along to us. That has to be acknowledged. And we also have to acknowledge the healing and the process. We have to acknowledge it's okay not to be okay during this process. But it's also okay to understand and acknowledge that their suffering was never ours to carry. And so we don't heal only for ourselves. We don't enjoy life only for ourselves. We do this for the next seven generations, where we only borrow this earth from our children, and our children are only loaned to us. So we live in this beautiful intersection between two unseen worlds. What a great opportunity it is to heal, to restore, to transition into something beautiful and better. Doesn't have to be the way it's always been. Let's do better today. It is in the medicine. The gathering is in the medicine. And we have gathered here today in a good way to carry on in a good way. So let us take this opportunity. Let us do better. Let us heal today and pray together today. It's a good day to have a good day. There are teachings that the Great Spirit has offered us. The seven grandfather teachings: humility, love, truth, honesty, respect, strength, and wisdom. Let us sit with these today. Let us make good relations. We live in two worlds, both seen and unseen. Everything begins with the Spirit. So let's begin with the Spirit today. Let's sit with humility today, so we can better understand ourselves and our relationship to all things and all life and all love. Let us walk the red road together. It is the road of wellness and unity and love. So we offer this road to the rest of the world to join us in this prayer in the unity, one heart and one mind. And we will remember a little bit more at the end of today, the first prayer at the center of the universe, the one that guides us today and guided our ancestors, the ancient sacred agreements of harmony and balance. So let us come here today and let us be guided by that first prayer. Let us be the peacemakers in all situations. We change by making peace and not war. Oh. Okay. All right. Well, all right, everyone. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are on a little bit early today, and I think we're going to keep this time here today. That's just kind of just the way it is. So anyway, let us begin in a good way here. So there's a couple things before we talk about the kind of like preamble things, and one of those things is always hollow bones, and that was a hollow bones prayer. We understand that this is a life force right here. It's representing the seasons, the stars, the spring, all things that have life have this life force. And so what we're trying to do is connect to that life force. The second part to the hollow bones is that there was a comment yesterday connecting to that life force. I'm not sure if I made that clear yesterday, but once we connect to that life force, what we're supposed to do is then we're supposed to offer life. We're supposed to give prayers. So that means it's kind of like a colonial thing, just to take, right? And in order for us to live full circle, we have to offer what has been offered to us, right? That's living in full circle. So giving prayers, giving life. That means praying with and for the water. That means praying with and for the fire. That means praying with and for Mother Earth. It's really that simple, right? You know, these things, and to make good relations with those things that offer us, right? And there was a good conversation I had with somebody yesterday. It was about, what is love, and I'm just like, I pointed back to, we have a real, because we talked about it the other day. We talked about it the other day, a couple days ago. We talked about it. It was a question of the day, I think, and so what is love? And the colonial versions, like, well, some sort of romantic, lustful kind of thing, and entering, well, but it's so much more than that. We don't understand what love is if we're not connected to those things that give us life, right? That's you know, so we're trying to understand this thing that we have no connection to, and then we try to offer something and build a relationship. But the first relationship that my elders always said is, let's begin those relationships with those things that give us life. So water, earth, air, and fire. And then we go on to the seasons, and then we go on to the sunset and sunrises, and all that. That's all encompassed in this thing called love, right? So it's not just between two people, one person, one dog or cat or anything like that. No. It's so much more, and so much. We sell ourselves out by just dealing with humans, right? It's just, that's what we do. So anyway, forgot where I was going with that. I love you guys, man. I just love you guys. Oh, by the way, if you see me looking back and forth here, we are live from YouTube. So we're doing the live. So if you see me going like that, there's another camera right here. So okay. And we'd love to hear your definition of hollow bones too. I think that's really important. Ancestors and elders. So it's really traditional to thank those who have come before us, particularly our teachers, right? And their teachers and their teachers before them, that beautiful lineage, right? So thank you to Grandfather Tony Stonehawk. I've been with him for 30 years now. He is Lenni Lenape out of Delaware. There was a question the other day is, well, you're Soto. How do you how come you didn't go with your Soto elders? Well, I'm a 60 scooper, which means they stole me. The short answer is they stole me from my tribe, put me into foster care, like orphanage foster care, and then I was sold to a white American family. And then I started walking the red road with Tony. I found him before I found my tribe. So, excuse me. So that was about 30 years ago. I think I was 20 years old when I found Tony. And yeah, that was a little while ago. And then, there were 13, 14 years later, I found my way back to the reservation. So, yeah, that's the way that is. So thank you to Tony. Thank you to those other men and women at Fishing Lake First Nation that have guided me in such a good and beautiful way, and really to all those other elders that I've gotten to sit with over the years. One of the greatest teachings that Grandfather Tony taught me was to sit with as many elders as you can, and that was beautiful. Because I was just talking to an elder before the circle here, and there's so many right ways to do this, right? Like certain ceremony. We were talking about sweat lodge before the before the circle, and Soto, we face south, right? Because the south is the north has been very, very brutal to us, right? Because it's freezing, majority part of the year, right? So we want that south, that warm, that flowing energy to flow up. So Sotos, we face south, and some tribes they face west, and the other tribes they face east, and a couple other tribes they face north, right? So there's so many right ways to do it. That's basically that, right? It got me out of that kind of like that like trap of like Nazism. And it's kind of like, well, it has to be this way, and it's only this way, and the Great Spirit only works this way, and just that sounds like some sort of patriarchal religious thing, right? It sounds like Sunday school. It has to be this way. I'll do this way, and only this way. Don't do it. Then you're going to that place, and it's just like, then it ends up being a mess, right? Well, really, spirituality is about sitting in the circle, right? And learning to love and pray with everybody in that circle. That's a great definition for spirituality. Here, write that one down. So anyway, so thank you. Okay, circle medicine. Really, really important that we understand this. No one's in front of us, no one's behind us, no one's above us, no one is below us. We are all equal here. In fact, this is what we look like right here. This is all of us right here. This is Leah, Sybil, Marilyn, Jean, Candace, James, Nina, everybody right here. This is what we look like right here. We are all intertwined and overlapping. That means our prayers both seen and unseen. So that was another comment too. We're covering a lot of comments today, questions, comments. So, and this is a perfect segue into the sacred feminine. Okay, so that Western patriarchal colonial world marginalizes the sacred feminine, the very things that offer us life. We are changing that narrative. We are all equal here. That's why we listen to the grandmothers when they speak. We listen when the grandmothers say, hey, let's keep that smoke going throughout the morning circle. That's because they know something. They're aware of something that we need to be aware of. It is the smoke that connects us all, right? Both seen and unseen, right? That's beautiful, powerful wisdom. I didn't come up with that myself, right? So, but I follow when it comes like that, right? We follow that beautiful, powerful thing because the wisdom is that nurturing, gentle wisdom is that we are all related and that we are all connected. That's that beautiful. And, sacred feminine, they just have that, right? They understand that. The ones that have walked in the red road for a long time, they get that. The grandmothers, they understand that the medicine is found in the gathering, right? Both seen and unseen. We live in two worlds, the physical and the spiritual, seen and unseen. And so that's what that basic, simple teaching is. That isn't so basic and simple, but it's still beautiful, right? Mm-hmm. So it's the smoke that connects us all, right? Right, and there's so many things. Not just the smoke. It's the water, the air, Mother Earth. It's so many things. But she directed that beautiful comment toward the smoke, and I'm thinking like that's like so powerful and so beautiful, and so that's why we do that. Leave it to the colonial world to marginalize the very things that have given us life. All life, it's just mind-boggling that we even conceive of that idea. So anyway, again, if no one said that they love you today, I love you very much. It's a beautiful day to get together. Question of the day. Please keep your questions and comments coming. I do not guarantee that I will get around to all of them. In fact, I'm really far behind on those questions. So if you had a question, I didn't get around to it, just ask it again. I was traveling, wasn't able to get through even all the comments every day or the questions every day. So please go ahead and re-ask. This was a recurring question from one of our European friends. We're going to cover two questions for like a little bit of time just to kind of play catch up a little bit. The first question is, when you say sitting with, what do you mean? Right. And I would love to hear your answers too. It's not just we are the medicine circle. So let us all share with that sitting with. Mm-hmm. So does that mean physical proximity? Right. Could be. Right. But let's take something that we just spoke about in the first prayer, right? Sitting with humility. What does that mean? It means being a good relative. It means making good relations. So we are to make good relations with the unseen. We are intertwined and overlapping anyway. So we are just not sitting in the world of the physical, right? Right. We are sitting with the spirits, right? Right. We are sitting with this, and let's sit with a spirit of humility, right? Which is a prayer, which is a part of a much larger prayer, harmony and balance. But we'll never understand harmony and balance if we don't understand and sit with humility first. Humility is equality, right? Right. It's wolf medicine. It's knowing your place in the circle, finding your place in the pack, right? There's and here's like the beautiful thing here, right? You know, humility is provides a place for us in the circle, right? Provides a healthy, beautiful, safe, loving, spiritual environment for us. I don't know if you know that, right? I did not know that when I first got here. This world for indigenous people are a very dangerous place for us, right? You know, very, very dangerous place, right? Missing and murdered, indigenous women, 60 scoopers, residential schools, the colonial world has been very tough on us, right? The reservation system, the water, just like, been very tough on it. But when we go to ceremony, we are always in ceremony. This ceremony may end, but the ceremony in you does not end, right? So we know that we're always in ceremony. So we know that there's always a beautiful, safe place for us. So how do we do that? Like, how do we sit with this? We sit with, sitting with is talking about spiritual listening, right? Spiritual listening. General listening is a kind of colonial thing. We just listen from our ears. We just kind of sit there, okay, what do you have to say, type thing. Yeah, I'll just sit here and listen. Spiritual listening is something that my elders talked about. We listen with all five senses. How about that? Right. Listening to be all in, right? Not like listening to you and looking at the TV or whatever, or, the family or the problems, or listening to, your cousins, or, no, it's about being focused on what is spiritually right in front of us, right? So it would be like, we're talking about humility. So sitting with humility, right? We can write it down. Humility has a voice, it has a song. It has all these things that a person would have. It has teachings there for us how to live a good life, but we'll never know that if we never sit and listen. We're supposed to be here to build, create, understand good relations. We're supposed to be good relatives, right? Both seen and unseen. There, write that one down. There you go, write that one down. We're supposed to be good relatives, both seen and unseen. We're supposed to be a good relative to humility, right? So as we sit here today, this is part of what we do. It's understanding circle medicine, right? Circle medicine is understanding humility. Humility is understanding that we have a place in the circle. Humility is understanding that we have a safe place in the circle, that we can always come here and grow and learn and be nurtured and loved. That's what humility brings, right? That's a beautiful, beautiful thing, man. It's just so incredible, right? So incredible. So, okay. Sitting with, I think we covered that. Okay, here's another question. I think it came from one of our European friends that said, "I'm concerned about." Hold on. Can't read my own writing here. I'm concerned about walking the red road as cultural appropriation. Okay, so there. Oh yeah. Okay, so they were from they're from Germany, and they want to walk the red road, but they don't want to make any mistakes, and they want to appear to be like culturally appropriating anything. So basically, what I said was, what I'm saying is, we do it in a good way. We mean no harm, to align ourselves with the medicines, right? To do the things that our elders did. So sit with the elders, sit and learn humility. This is a great question, right? Because there's a lot of people out there. That cultural appropriation is misappropriation, misusing our culture, right? So, like the first one that comes to mind would be like putting on an Indian costume at Halloween, right? That's cultural appropriation because you're not aligning yourself spiritually with what we do, the medicine, or how we do it, or why we do it. It's just like pretending to be something, right? You know, but if we take sage, right? I think this was talking about sage, smudging, right? So aligning yourself with that medicine, speaking about humility, right? Hey, I need your help. That's what the medicines are here to guide us. So the medicines are here to guide us in a really good and beautiful way to align ourselves with that place of harmony and balance, right? So, we take this basic medicine right here and we say thank you, right? We say thank you. Please help me. Please help me. Um, Please align my heart, my spirit, my prayers, my walk with Mother Earth, with the circle, right? That's appropriate, right? That's a good thing. And also too, I would suggest, and what I suggested to them was that find an elder to sit with. So they're I think there's a couple people over there that's doing it, and they may pop on here. There's different time periods, like 8 hours ahead in Europe, or 9 hours ahead in Germany. So, yeah, as long as it's done in a good way. Again, we mean no harm. Right? Actually, that was another question. Might as well cover that. So, we mean no harm. Right? That means aligning ourselves with with love, with the truth. Yeah. If we misstep, right? Like there's one thing to do it in like a mean-spirited type way, right? Right? We mean no harm. We come here in a good way. We come here in a humble way. We come here in a sacred way, right? Right? If we misstep, if we make a mistake, then then we try to do better next time, right? We do better in 5 minutes. We do better, and as soon as we can, we make amends, and then we move on. So anyway, let's get down to okay, we're running a little bit behind, but let's get down to why we're here. So we read from. We read from Daily Medicine, and I realize you can see this backwards. So or Whispers from the Hollow Bone. We pick a reading, a meditation. These meditations are designed to bring us closer to life, right? Make that beautiful connection to life. We really just break it down. These were offered by Grandfather Tony, the Spirit, basic medicine, real teachings. But when we look at it, right? And we're supposed to sit with these, right? We're supposed to, so I don't know how to question, and this kind of lines up. They always kind of do that, though. So we're supposed to sit with these, right? So we're actually doing what the first question said, right? I didn't plan that, by the way. So we're going to sit with these. We're going to pray with these. We're going to pray for these, and we're going to listen to what the Great Spirit has to offer, right? And these are really rich and really powerful. So we're going to go over Whispers from the Hollow Bone, October 7th. If we could get a volunteer to put that in the feed. Some days we go on the day, and today's like a wild card day, so we just picked the day. So let us start in a good way. Do we get a volunteer to put that in? Just give me a little thumbs up. Okay, all right. And again, there was a comment yesterday about what I thought was wrong. That's how it kind of started out. And this is a place of great gentleness. When I read this a couple of times, develop a genuine impression. And this is a place of great gentleness, right? Great nurturing. Without great gentleness, without great nurturing, which is another word for humility, this is not about right or wrong, right? So we got 20 some people here in the circle. So once we read it once, there's going to be 20 different general impressions, right? And let's be really clear here. This is not about right or wrong, good or bad. We leave that conversation out, outside the circle, outside the door, and because then there's no better way to kill, serenity and unity by the way with comparison, right? So we leave that at the door, right? That's a place of like misery and separation right there. I mean, if you want, you can pick it up on the way out, but really, I would suggest just leave that alone. And, once we do this for a while, you know, it's not about where you start, it's about where we end, right? So we are growing together. So the general impression is just a starting point, right? But watch the circle. Watch how we grow together, right? If you've been here a couple times, then you understand. If you've been here for a while, then you really understand, right? It's absolutely powerful and beautiful the way we just grow together because we all come from different backgrounds, right? But whatever it is, we come from Judaism, or you had a Muslim person on here the other day. But the beautiful thing is here, we all grow together because spirit doesn't matter. It doesn't matter the spirit where you come from. It's really about sitting together, and it's in the medicine. It's in the gathering where the medicine is, right? Where we come together. The medicine is found in the gathering, right? So that's that. So we're going to read this. Our spiritual choice happens when we find our power and decide to walk with it or tiptoe around it. Okay, what does that mean? Let's read that again. Our spiritual choice, okay, happens when we find our power and decide to walk with it or to tiptoe around it. Wow. What is powerful? What does that mean? What's this like initially? What's it say to you, right? What it says to me is like there's a fork in the road here, man. There's a fork in the road, right? Let's begin with the first word, hour. That is profoundly deep and spiritual, right? It's not just hour, right? What is the Great Spirit offer? These are offerings from the Great Spirit, from the Creator. So when the Great Spirit, that beautiful place of love, compassion, offers the word hour to us, what does that mean? Right? What does that mean? Does it mean that 28 people are sitting in the circle? I don't know, maybe. Probably. But does it end there or does it just start there? I would suggest that hour is the 28 beautiful people here, that this is just the beginning, the start, right? Right. But it goes on to, let's think about the opening prayer, right? That's the hour, both seen and unseen, physical and spiritual. That's inviting all the medicines to gather, to come here, to sit with us. Right? How profoundly beautiful is that? So we're sitting with the standing nations, the ones that are offering us breath. This is like, it's just like, that's beautiful, right? We have invited them here. We need help, and they are here because we've invited them here in a good way. We have offered tobacco. We need your help. The hollow bones prayer is part of it is a cry for help. Hey, we're struggling here. We as a people, as a two leg, we're struggling. We are asking for your help. We are asking for your guidance. And when the Great Spirit says, here's an offering, Whispers from Hollow Bones, October 7th. That's an offering. When they say hour, we have to really understand what they're talking about, right? Because a lot of us just think, well, just me and my sister just sitting here, me and my wife or my husband, we're just sitting here, and that's the only hour there is. But, we have to really, and this is part of sitting with, right? I didn't understand this 30 years ago when grandfather was describing the hour, because I thought the hour he was talking about was the 4, 5, 10, 12 people at the sweat lodge. I didn't understand that the hour was Mother Earth included, right? So we're sitting with all these beautiful medicines of Mother Earth that are begging for a relationship with us, right? Did you know the air is begging for a relationship with us? The water, the trees, the sunrise. These are all these beautiful things that we have mentioned in the opening prayer. They are begging for a relationship with us, right? And who else? Who else is listening, right? Who else understands us, right? Right. Well, we have a little bit greater. We have a little bit greater understanding now. And the spiritual door just opened like that, right? How beautiful is that? Oh my God. Well, Seaman, how about our ancestors? And you know what? It just gets better for me. How about our ancestors, right? How about a four-legged who is just over here right now? Oh, right. How about our ancestors? Hey, how about this? How about the next seven generations? They are right here with us, right? Just because they haven't been here in the physical doesn't mean they're not here in the spiritual. How about that, right? They they are sitting here, like looking at us like, hey, look, there's a circle of people that really mean well, that really want us to live a really good life. That's part of the hour here, right? There's circles here. There's power here. There's an understanding. There's a growth. There's a maturity here. There's people here that want the next 7 generations to live a really good, beautiful, powerful life, right? That's part of the hour. How can it not be, right? Right? So what we do here when we gather, we are the medicine. We are doing some beautiful, powerful things, right? We are creating this beautiful, better world because of the hour that we have called in, like that we have called in because of our humility, right? We need help. I need help today, right? The universe is 13.7 billion years old. I've been here walking the red road for 30. How much do I really know? I don't know anything, right? I really don't know anything, right? I need help, right? This is part of the hour right here. This tobacco is part of the hour, right? This is not these. This is a question actually that came in last night. So, why do you have this feather? And it's really pertinent here. So, this feather, hawk feather, right? Hawk feather. This helps me to see beyond the beyond, right? I don't carry this to look cool. I carry it because I need help, right? I need help. Sometimes I'm just not able to see because I don't understand the hour, or I'm in a position where I'm nervous or scared or something like that. I need help to see beyond the beyond what I can normally see. That's part of the hour here too, right? That's why we carry this medicine, because these medicines help us out in the situations where we need a lot of help, right? And that's a beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful thing. And as it's in the circle, you think it's only helping me out? No, it's helping the circle out. It's helping all 28, 26 people here. This is the power of that, right? Just because you're sitting in wherever, in Australia, or you're sitting in the UK, it doesn't mean that this medicine is not working for you. We carry this medicine for the people, right? This hawk is still in ceremony. Hawk is still in ceremony, right? How beautiful is that? And that's part of the hour. You see how big and beautiful and powerful this gets really quick? I can't make this stuff up. I just listened to what Tony taught me, and I'm like, I think that's really good. And this is better than anything that colonial Western world has to offer me, right? Right? I'd rather carry this and listen to this than CNN or Fox News any day, right? Because this takes me to a better place, a safer place, right? And we have to understand that this is part of the hour, right? I love you, right? I love you, right? I learned to know what love is sitting in the circle of the hour instead of the circle of me, right? We come here for me, but we stay for us, right? That's the deal. That's the evolution. That's why we do what we do. That's why the ancestors always gathered, right? 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 That's why we do what we do, right? It's never for me. It's for always the hour. It's always for us, right? You know, and the other Western patriarchal thing is love. And love, you know, like if I wanted to find out what love is, I would never find out. But when I sit with you, then I understand what love is, right? You know, I came to love me, and I found out I can't love me without loving you. That's part of the hour. You see, it's overlapping. These teachings are intertwined and overlapping. We can take a run at any one of these teachings. It looks a little different, may come from a different direction, but still, at the end of the day, it wants us to come together. It wants us to sit. The water wants us to come together. The grandmother brought us together. How powerful is that? There's a person in the circle right here. Just give me a thumbs up if you're still doing that smoke. So the smoke is not just there. The smoke is for the circle, connecting us all. It is a smoke that connects us all, and that's the beautiful thing. And that's part of the hour, right? So these are beautiful, powerful, overlapping things, right? It's mind-boggling, right? Mind-boggling once we sit with and understand and listen to and feel and understand the power of the hour. I might spend the hour on the hour. That was really bad. That's the worst joke I tell all day. I love it. So, all right. So, I haven't got past the first word yet, have I? Okay. Well, sorry about that. Okay. So our spirit. Oh God, we got a long way to go. Okay. So our spirit, and the beautiful thing is, it just gets better from here. It just gets better. Hang on, strap in, hold on. 5-point harness. Yes. Beautiful. So our spiritual, okay, everything starts with the spiritual. So this is kind of like reinforcing that, right? It doesn't say our mental choice, it doesn't say our physical choice, it doesn't say our emotional choice, it doesn't say our family's choice, it doesn't say, our wife's choice or our husband's choice, girlfriend, boy, it doesn't say that. It says our spiritual. Everything begins with the spirit. If it doesn't begin with the spirit, then it doesn't begin. This is just a simple reinforcing of that, right? I love you, man. You guys are just awesome. But you just can accept the fact that in that one day that you're awesome, right? I think that's pretty cool. Basically, Pop said that to me. It's like, stop beating yourself up, man. Just come here and remember that we're like better together, right? It's just like, okay, all right, and that's the way we heal. So everything begins with a spiritual. Okay, our spiritual what choice? Every day we have a spiritual choice, right? Every moment we have a spiritual. Every time we have a breath, we have a spiritual choice, right? Whether to engage in what? Let's backtrack a little bit. Engage in what? The spiritual thing. If it doesn't begin with spirit, then it doesn't begin. So now we have a spiritual choice, right? That's a full circle in and of itself, right? So we're in a spiritual. We're in a physical circle. We have 30 people here, but that's a spiritual circle, right? Even though we're all over the map, the spirit sees this, right? Because the spirit sees that beautiful alignment, okay? That's the circle, right? That's the circle there. Write that one down. The circle is the alignment of people, hearts, and minds, prayers, ceremonies coming together. This ceremony may end, but a ceremony in you does what? So just kind of going off like that a little bit, that means that we're supposed to take this circle, what we learned here in this circle, remember that we are a circle, and supposed to take this to other places, not forgotten that they are in a circle, right? That's kind of like the colonial world. And, we're supposed to treat them with loving and kindness. Is that the choice that you're going to make today? Choice. Choice. Every day, Creator gives us a choice. Has given us the opportunity for life, right? This is a privilege to be here. Privilege to be in this beautiful circle. So take a moment and thank whatever divine creator, great spirit, whatever you call him, for bringing you here, right? That's where life starts, right? Maybe that's your fork. Maybe, you know, that should always be, and what Grandfather Tony taught me is gratitude. That's our first choice of the day, right? What is your first choice of today, right? I'm happy you're here. Now, the choice is, are you going to keep that gratitude and understanding, right? There's a beautiful flow here that's happening. I know you feel it because I feel it, right? So there's like, oh, okay, good, right, good. Hey, there's a circle, there's a place that's safe for me, that's not going to judge me for whatever, for being overweight, for being a woman, for being black, for being red, for being, no, we're just happy that you're here, right? And now, the beautiful, powerful thing is we get to grow together. Okay, so the choice is the gratitude. How can I have 10 minutes left? I just started. So the choice is gratitude, right? We're just going to run over. So the choice is gratitude, right? So, it's going to bring this up, the 30-day challenges, right? 30-day challenge, beginning intentionally. That means being all in, right? That means that means being focused, right? How many of you, and that's the choice here. We're going to rip through this a little bit. So the choice is, let's be intentional. Let's be intentionally happy. Let's be intentionally grateful, right? Let's start there. There's nothing in this world that gratitude can't help, right? So asking without offering is spiritual seeing. Even if we're offering gratitude, we are so grateful that then, what we do? We take this and we say, thank you for life. Thank you for life. How may I be of service to life? How about that, right? My prayer goes every morning, hey, I offer my life, my voice to you, to the Great Spirit, for the benefit of the people, for all nations, tribes, and circles. Right? Please use me for the highest good. That's the short version of my morning prayer, right? Spiritual health, and the short version is spiritual health, spiritual wealth. So that's what I ask for in gratitude every day. That's how I can do what I do. I come from a really, really kind of like traumatic place, and now, because of Grandfather Tony, because of the Red Road, because of humility, the teachings, is a place called love. Now I'm at where I'm at, where I come here every day, come here as often as I can, and to share a little bit of the love that has been offered to me. We have been offered the greatest gift that we could be offered today. And it's not that we are the medicine circle. It is life. What are you doing today to celebrate that life? What are you doing today to walk in beauty? Right? That's our spiritual choice. Can I get back to the reading? Get back to the reading. So our spiritual choice happens when? Here, we, us, and our. You know what I'm going to say about that, right? So the short version is, hey, kind of already been over that. English is a really bad language. It's right twice a day like a broken clock. That's what they're referring to. So when they say we, us, and our, we jump on that. And it says here in the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words, it says our twice and we once. So in 3 words it says, so we have to be mindful when the Great Spirit says that. They're trying to relay a message to us, right? And the message is our, and we. Right. And there's a beautiful, powerful, safe place for all of us, right? Find our power. Okay, what power are they talking about? Okay, we've begun with gratitude and thank you. Okay, then we move on to those things that give us life, right? Okay, those things that give us life: water, air, fire, earth, right? Those, right off the rip. Hey, look, let's sit with, be good relative to those things that give us life, right? But again, you can sit on the yoga mat all day long, but not be attached to any of those things, right? You can do all day long, which is great, but it does nothing to attach us to, earth, air, fire, water, earth, right? So basically, let's attach those things and talking about love too. How do we know love if we don't attach to those things that are offering us life, right? Well, like it's very, I don't know if you can, right? I don't know if you can, right? So I don't want to find out. I just want to know. Because I lived in that colonial world, and I had no idea what love is. I thought love was between two people, and that's just, that was like a disaster, right? And that's why this world is a disaster. There's a lot of strife and poverty in this world because it begins with spiritual poverty, beginning that the only love relationship is some sort of agenda between two people, and that's like, that's so whittled down to like nothing, right? But real love is understanding that we are attached to all those beautiful things that give us life. Choice. I said all that just to say choice. So I'm just kind of like, so it's your choice now. Do you want to know what love is? That's a choice. You want to know what love is? That's your power. Right? You don't want to, like it says, power. You want to step in your power? Sit with a little humility, right? Sit in that circle. There's a place in this circle that you belong. That's safe for you. I don't know if you know that, but that's, you sit here long enough, you listen long enough, you know how to be all in long enough. Listen with all five senses and understand, hey, this world is a freaking beautiful place, man. There's a small percent, 1% of 1% that's really ugly, but that's all we see because that's all the mass media presents, right? But really, there's so much other beautiful things here that are begging for us to build, to sit with, having a good relationship. That's our choice, right? So we are changing the narrative on how to live a good life and connecting to all those things that give us a good life, like love. But I don't know how I'm going to squeeze this in 3 minutes. We started a little late, right? We started a little late, so sorry about that. All right, so oh my God, here. So let's start with our power. It says our power here. I even circled it. It says our power right here. So our power. So that's its own circle of itself. Our power, right? We talked about circle medicine, right? Now it's saying that's where our power is. That's where our power is. Amazing, right? Talked about it last night. We're throwing that power away like confetti, right? Here, there's strife. Okay, there's some of my serenity, right? Here's some of my peace, right? Here's some of my compassion, and we just throw it away, right? Right? It doesn't come back to us full circle, To live in full circle, we must receive equally as we offer, right? Our power, the full circle. Right. Let us start receiving and understanding what power really is. Power is understanding our place in the circle, right? Right. That is a beautiful, safe place. The Creator that created the universe, the stars, has created a place for you. A safe place for you to find your power in this world, where you could be heard, understand, healed, and listened to. Is that absolutely amazing? That's the beginning, and that's just the beginning. Okay? Beginning of our power is sitting, understanding all that. Okay, so now they're telling us, so it says choice and it says decide. So it says choice and decide, right? Decide to walk with it, which is what we're doing right now. The ceremony in the end, but a ceremony in you. Oh, wait. Right. Okay, right. I heard somebody say that. So, or tiptoe around it. Continue the misery, right? Right. Continue the misery. Right. Let's bring the question in here too. This is the red road. It is the road of wellness, right? It is our spiritual indigenous path, but it is the path of all people. It is the road that attaches all life to each other, the circle, the way. Right. Right. So either we can accept that we are part of this thing called life, this thing called water, this thing called air, this thing called fire, this thing called earth, right? We are all sons and daughters of earth. I know, like, that's the very basic, right? We are all sons and daughters of earth, right? And it doesn't matter what kind of religion, what kind of, like, skin color you are, what kind of, sexual orientation or sexual, any kind of, like, any other creative, separative way that the colonial world has offered us, some adversarial way, right? What really matters is, the beginning of our choice understands that we are all sons and daughters of earth, and that we all have a beautiful, safe place to go to walk with, to sitting. I kind of realize that. And the sitting with, walking with, right? The same thing. You see, so that there's no accidents here. So when spirit repeats itself, right? When these different messages come that are similar and here very much the same, what do? We're supposed to notice it, understand it, listen. Okay, so I think it's kind of like I heard the other day, well, everything comes in threes, and now it's like something I should pay attention to. Well, okay, now it's coming in repeatedly now, so I think that's something that we, as a beautiful circle, should really pay attention to and understand, sit with, and walking with. So, I'm not sure if I got all that in. So let's read this again. Want to hear your general impression, and I would really love for you to share, as a practice of being hollow bones, what you are going to take away from this circle. So the people that have been walking a little bit more and a little bit less can hear you. When we feel heard, that's part of the healing process, right? So go ahead and say, this is what I'm going to take away today. So let's read this. Let's read this one more time, and I guess we're going to have to wrap it up here. Okay, our spiritual choice happens when we find our power. I spend the next hour on that, man. Our power. And decide to walk with it or tiptoe around it. Okay, so let's talk tiptoe around it. So that means, generally, that means I refuse, right? Because now we know that there's a safe, beautiful place for us. That's made just for us, that made the stars, that made this beautiful place, that made this circle for me, intertwined, overlapping, or tiptoe around it, meaning that I now am at a place of refusal, and now I won't come to you. I won't sit in this circle. And that could be any kind of number of reasons. Well, I'm Christian. I would never sit in this circle. Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is, that's your choice to tiptoe around it, right? But for me, I want to live a really good life attached to all other life, and I can't do that without sitting with and being in that place of humility and accepting the love from those other circles that give me life. Right? This has given us beautiful, beautiful life today. Right? This medicine has worked with us today as part of our power right here. It's not just ours, it is our power, right? This is our strength. This is our wisdom. This is what guides us. This is what's been guiding us, part of what's guiding us here. The Hawk medicines are really strong and really powerful. We use this every day. That's why I have it, right? Again, not to look cool, but as a place of humility. Hey, God, please guide us today. Because, some of us are really struggling out there, right? Some of us are really, really struggling, right? Maybe with a drink, maybe with something else, maybe with some sort of, don't know. Right? So now, doesn't have to be the way it's always been. So let's make that good choice. Let's come together. Let's sit together. Let's pray together. Let's offer together. And then we'll find out together what love and life really is. So let's put that one thing. Put together that one thought. close your eyes, put that one thought. But this is not entertainment. This is medicine for us to ground whatever we put on our hearts right now. You know, put that one thought, whatever it is, that one takeaway that you're going to take away today. Just put that on your heart. In fact, you can even just put your hands over your heart and just kind of close your eyes and allow the standing nation, who has been with us the entire time, to help us ground ourselves. Even though it looks like this, it's still grounding ourselves, right? So let's understand how powerful and beautiful this medicine is. So, thank you. All right. Well, guess it's time to wrap it up. Spirit was telling me, okay, that's enough. All right. So the final word is this ceremony may end, but the ceremony in you does not end. So let's take what we lived here, loved here, learned here, and listened to here, and take it out to the four winds. Does us no good to be all spiritual here if we don't take it out there. Here. If it doesn't go here, then it won't go to our families, it won't go to our communities, it won't go. So let's take it here first. Let's keep it here. That's why I'd ask you to take one thing and put it right there, and then take that one thing out there. We are supposed to be the peacemakers. So let's bring peace and harmony to this world, where we will show the world that this world is still a beautiful place. My name is Kanipa Wetmacquat, Standing Bear. And if no one said that, they love you today. I love you very much. Let's have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye. Okay.